It was a Friday evening, and I had finished work earlier than usual. I decided to do something special for my wife, Emma. We hadn't been spending much time together lately because of my busy schedule, so I thought surprising her would brighten her day. I bought her favorite flowers, a bottle of wine, and even picked up dinner from the restaurant she loved most. I imagined her smile when she saw me walk in. As I pulled into the driveway, I noticed a strange car parked out front. At first, I thought maybe it belonged to one of her friends or a neighbor, but something about the tinted windows and the way it was backed into the driveway made me uneasy. I brushed it off, telling myself I was overthinking. I grabbed the flowers and dinner and headed to the door. When I stepped inside, the house was quieter than usual. No TV, no music, just silence. I called her name, but there was no answer. I assumed she might be upstairs, so I walked toward the staircase. That's when I heard a muffled laugh coming from the bedroom. A man's voice. My stomach dropped instantly. I froze for a moment, trying to convince myself that it was a harmless situation, maybe a family friend visiting. But my instincts told me otherwise. I slowly climbed the stairs, my heart pounding harder with each step. The closer I got, the clearer the voices became. They weren't talking, they were whispering and giggling in a way that left no room for misunderstanding. I pushed the bedroom door open, and there she was, my wife, lying in bed with another man. The wine glasses on the nightstand and the clothes scattered across the floor confirmed what I already knew. My hands were shaking, and my chest felt like it was going to explode. She gasped and quickly pulled the blanket over herself, but it was too late. The image was burned into my mind forever. The man jumped up, stammering something about leaving, but I stepped into the room and told him to stay put. My voice was calm, but inside I was a storm. I asked Emma, "How long has this been going on?" She didn't answer, just stared at the floor with tears in her eyes. The man tried to speak again, and I told him to shut up. I wanted the truth from her, not excuses from him. After a long, tense silence, she finally admitted they'd been seeing each other for a few months. My knees almost gave out. I couldn't believe that while I'd been working hard and planning little surprises for her, she had been spending her time like this. I felt betrayed in a way I couldn't put into words. The anger hit me all at once. I told the man to get dressed and get out of my house. He grabbed his clothes and left without another word. As soon as the door slammed downstairs, I turned to Emma. The confrontation turned brutal, not physically, but emotionally. I demanded to know why she had done this to me, to our marriage. Her answers were filled with excuses. I felt lonely, we've been distant, I didn't mean for it to happen. None of it made the betrayal hurt any less. I reminded her of the vows we made, the years we had spent building a life together. I told her that I had been trying to fix things, not destroy them. My voice broke as I realized she had chosen someone else instead of fighting for us. She cried and begged me to forgive her, but the trust was already shattered. I left the bedroom and went downstairs, pacing around the living room. Everything in the house suddenly felt unfamiliar, as if it no longer belonged to me. The flowers I had brought were still in my hand, but now they felt like a cruel joke. I dropped them on the table and poured myself a glass of the wine I'd bought, the one meant for a romantic evening that never happened. She came downstairs after a while, trying to touch my arm, but I stepped back. I told her I needed space to think. In truth, I already knew what I was going to do. I couldn't stay with someone who had betrayed me like that. My mind replayed the moment I opened the door over and over again, each time cutting deeper. I packed a bag that night and went to stay at a friend's house. The silence in their spare room was heavy, but at least it was free from lies. My friend listened quietly as I told him everything. He didn't give me advice. He didn't need to. I knew deep down that this marriage was over. The next few days were a blur of phone calls and text messages from Emma, all begging me to come back and talk. But I didn't respond. I went to a lawyer and began the process of ending things. It was painful, but I knew it was the only way I could move forward. Looking back, I realized that the surprise I had planned was never the problem. The real issue was that our relationship had already been broken, and I just didn't see it until that night. The big fight we had was simply the final nail in the coffin. I learned the hard way that sometimes love isn't enough to keep two people together when trust is gone. In the end, I walked away with my dignity intact, even if my heart was shattered. I didn't get the happy evening I imagined, but I got something more valuable: the strength to leave someone who didn't value me.